Hi, everyone, and welcome into Joshing Around Milwaukee. As always, my name is Josh Albrecht, and with me is...
Hey, it's Josh Albrecht.
That's right, Josh Albrecht and Josh Albrecht, and we are here to tell you about the best that the city of Milwaukee has to offer and fill you in on all of the fun and amazing things there are to do in Milwaukee. And we're so excited to welcome our guest, Eddie Sturkey, today to the show. Eddie is the executive director of Milwaukee's East Town Association. Eddie, thank you so much for being here.
Josh, how you doing?
Well, hey, it's always a good day.
That's when we get to Josh
when
around.
We're Josh around.
Yeah.
No, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
So for people that might not be familiar with everything that you guys do with the East Town Association, why don't you just give us a little bit of a, I guess, brief description overall of what that all encompasses?
Yeah, so we're the main organization around a lot of the city's beloved events, which includes Bastille Days and Storm the Bastille, which are coming up here soon, Jazz in the Park, and the Cathedral Square Market. And then historically, we've partnered on a number of other events as well, which included the Milwaukee Oktoberfest the last couple of years, and many other events that were started by our organization that still exist today, such as Gallery Night, but just living through another organization.
Yeah, I love it so much because East Town, it's like the oldest area of the city, right? I mean, we're talking the roots, downtown, lots of history on the streets in East Town. What are the boundaries? Someone who maybe is not from Milwaukee, how do they understand where East Town is?
Yeah, so for a downtown that relatively isn't that big, we still do have our neighborhoods, and they are really, really defined. I mean, the Third Ward, more than anything, I think you just immediately when you walk into the Third Ward, you know you're in the Third Ward. East Town, it really is a neighborhood of its own. The boundaries are kind of self-identified boundaries. Over 60 years that our organization has been around, we've always defined it as everything from the river to the lake up to Ogden and maybe down like basically where the Third Ward starts. But since we're just purely a nonprofit and not an actual bid or a business improvement district, which is kind of a common misconception out there, it's not like a hard defined boundary like you would have for like the Third Ward and a few other neighborhoods. But that's kind of how we define it. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, Cathedral Square is one of the sort of maybe the epicenter of it in a lot of ways, especially for the events.
Yeah. A few facts that I like to toss out there, if that's okay, that I always find interesting is some of the history around not just our organization, but the park itself, because the park is really the heart, and center of what we do to not just activate the East Town area, but provide free community programming, but for the city itself. And a few things that I found interesting is, Cathedral Square Park is older than the city itself. So the city was formed around 1846. And the park was really officially, created around 1837. And since then, it's always been like the public gathering space. So it was where the original courthouse was. It used to be home to a swimming hole. It's, countless protests over the generations. And the abolition movement has a lot of historical roots there. A summer music series actually dates back to 1870.
Oh,
and so it's always been a place of like entertainment and gathering.
Was it in the swimming pool?
I want to know who played that.
Yeah.
Who was the
band?
lineup?
It was I'm sure it was the municipal band.
In 1870. Sellout crowd.
Yeah, and there's been ice rinks there. The Lebowski Fest was held there in more like modern years, and so it's got a deep history of like not just like entertainment and programming and bringing our community together, but like really historic roots that has like really shaped our city.
Yeah. It's a wonderful area of the city. I love going there during the holidays. It's always you guys do an amazing job decorating the square.
That's actually Milwaukee downtown, so I always want to give them credit for that. But yeah, we do. East Town Association originally, was behind a lot of the original holiday activation in that area, and that was another example of another organization. When it was formed, really kind of taking that on and making it a thing of their own, which they've done a great job of making that. Community Spirit Park, I believe, is what they call it for the Holiday Lights Festival. And there's there's just numerous ideas too of how that can continue to evolve and improve for the needs of the community as well.
To make any neighborhood association or district or identifying group, right, nonprofit, collaboration is key. And I imagine when you're doing things like Bastille Days and the 5K and Jazz in the Park, getting several groups together to make it happen has to be like the crux of it, right? Like, how do you bring in partners, other groups, maybe volunteers to make that? You're talking thousands of people coming down to these events.
Yeah, when I took on this project of bringing back the organization, basically from the dead, because the pandemic really killed it off for a period of 2 years, and I stepped down as a board member into the role of executive director. I was also looking to make a change in my career around that time, and thought it would be important. And so, came into this project, and that's, besides inflation, a number of other challenges. One of those biggest challenges or learning curves for me was just really identifying and working with all those numerous partners. Because just as you said, it is, a giant production to put on what sometimes feels like a smaller event, sometimes from the outside or, internally as a team. After doing it a few seasons, you can almost get a little too used to certain aspects of it. But it really is, very involved. The Storm the Bastille 5K itself, I consider that a special thing, not just for the city, but in the country, to like really shut down on a Thursday evening in the middle of what we all know is like a very prime summer seasonal, night at 9 o'clock at night. It involves a lot. And so an event just like that, we partner very closely with Milwaukee Police Department, the city of Milwaukee. We even get the mayor and others involved with helping launch the event, and just numerous parties, including reaching out to the Third Ward. And it's an example of, to anyone that might hear this, that we've never encountered, or had a communication with directly, the businesses and the neighbors that really support us doing stuff like that. Thank you. It really does take the entire city to allow these events to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very, very, very true. And that's a great point of just, a lot of people don't realize the work that has to go into any of this just think about how many events the city has, and have the communication of making sure that you can make all of it work together. It's a ton of people that come together. And you brought up Bastille Days and Storming the Bastille, which I'm very excited to talk about. And we're going to do so when we come back on Joshing Around Milwaukee. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to Joshing Around Milwaukee. We are having a great time with our guest, Eddie, over here. And I want to let you know that the open road is calling your name. And the ride begins at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. This July, you could burn some major rubber on the custom Harley-Davidson of your dreams in the Fire Up Your Fantasy motorcycle giveaway. Just play with your rewards card all July for entries, Thursday drawings for extra cash and reward play. Fire Up Your Fantasy only at Potawatomi. More info online, must be 21 and a rewards member to play. So, Eddie, we were talking about, just all of the work that goes into these events that you guys are doing with the East Town Association, and Bastille Days is huge, and the storming of the Bastille, the run itself, is an awesome tradition. And so before we get into the details of it, why don't you just kind of tell people a little bit about Bastille Days and the 5K itself?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, excuse me, East Town Association, has been around for over 60 years. It was formed as a merchant organization for just like the stores on Jefferson Street back in 1963. Bastille Days has been around for over 40 of those years. Originally started by a guy who was actually running the Pfister at the time. I think he had some French roots, and he wanted to start up a nice neighborhood block party and kind of embrace like his French heritage. And that was how it formed, and then evolved to, many years ago being defined as like North America's largest French festival. That was mostly, when it occupied all of Kilbourne Street before the Hop moved in. But it's still a really massive free community event today. And so that's coming up fast here on July 17th through the 20th. So we got 4 days of a lot of activities. So we'll have over 60 musical acts, over 28 different food vendors, over 70 marketplace vendors. We have a kids' day. We have street performers. You name it, it's really something for everybody. And it basically runs 11 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Each night, Thursday through Friday, only to 7 o'clock on Sunday. And we always say Storm, even though it's at 9 o'clock at night and the festival starts earlier that day, really kicks off the festival. And so that takes place July 17th. We're expecting to have approximately like 5,000 to 6,000 runners this year. Really, really excited about that.
Yeah, that's a big race. That's a lot of people to be coming downtown for a fun nighttime race. Is it the only nighttime race in Milwaukee? Do you know? I'm trying to think.
I think there's some smaller ones out there, but in terms
of unique factor of this, right?
Bigger ones, and even ones downtown. This is one of the few.
Yeah, and I would imagine there'd be it's a beautiful experience. I know several people in the Visit Milwaukee office are participating again this year in the run. Unfortunately, I don't know if either one of us Josh has run.
No, someone might carry me.
It is a
Well, I'll tell you
walk
what.
too.
I'll tell you what I do really well though.
Like I said, someone might carry me.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I do really well, and I did it last year, was eat the food at this festival.
Yes.
It was fantastic. Strolled through with my family, hit up many of the vendors, grabbed a beer, walked around, enjoyed the music. It's a wonderful. Got our photo by the Eiffel Tower. Wonderful experience. Good family experience as well during the daytime. A lot of fun for us coming down. Curious about the Eiffel Tower. Is that just sit in your backyard all year?
No, it's in a secret warehouse down in the third ward.
Oh, secret warehouse.
Thankfully, hasn't turned into a new apartment building yet, so I've been waiting for that any day now.
Yeah.
But no, that'll be back again. You know, for those that might remember in 2022 when I stepped in to kind of bring this back very, very last minute, we really didn't have an option. The Eiffel Tower, which was built, another fun fact, over, almost 40 years ago too, to be built once within a department store, I think in Minnesota. And so it wasn't even intended on being outside. It's all wood, which a lot of people find interesting. And so every year it's required a lot of TLC to bring it back. And that year we had this like inflatable Eiffel Tower, which there was a ton of funny comments on.
I remember that, yeah.
Especially when it would limp over usually halfway through the festival.
Yeah.
But that'll be back this year. The food that you mentioned, I'm excited about. In the 3 years I've been doing this, this will be our 4th season that I've been involved. I'm most excited about our food vendors this year. And so, Lake Park Bistro, which is always a featured restaurant, along with our beignets with Alliance Francais. We're actually adding like a few more French restaurants, Loopy and Iris, which is a really popular destination downtown now, and who recently, announced their like second restaurant that they'll be opening up in the NML building, Northwestern Mutual building. And we're going to have Margot Brasserie, and they're based out in Brookfield too. So there'll be some really exciting food vendors this year at the festival.
Yeah, I love it. You led with 2 of the ones I distinctly remember last year for sure. And it was funny. We went to the Lake Park Bistro one, and my son was like, "I just want the giant baguette, like just gnawed on a baguette all the time, walking around." It was amazing.
This is big bread.
It was just long. I was like, "I'm just eating it. I'm just going with the baguette."
You didn't fight him.
No, of course. I mean, I appreciate it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there's nothing more great than some fresh French bread, right? So, tons of fun with the family. It's always beautiful in downtown Milwaukee in the summer, and really appreciate you bringing it back and saving it in many ways, right? And making sure it's an icon for the city. And if you haven't got your photo by the Eiffel Tower in Cathedral Square during this event, it's like Instagram to the max, right?
Right. It's a staple. I'm now thinking though, like, does it even make sense to try to petition to have it rebuilt so that it doesn't have to have all the TLC? Because now you kind of want the tradition.
Are you trying to get a permanent Eiffel Tower?
I'm just saying.
Well,
I don't know.
More than anything, we're just we're not fundraising to replace it, but just to refurbish it and to keep it strong and coming back. And so,
can we refurbish the inflatable one to have that as a secondary next to it? It might be even a bigger draw,
right?
Limited edition one. God, that was so fun that year. I love that. So very cool. Very much looking forward to it. There's the run as well. So let's talk about the 5K. A little bit, because you talked a little bit about the work that went into it, and the different collaborations and people that had to get involved. So the track, where are people taking
the route?
The route. Thank you. For the 5K.
The race itself, which we really kind of market as one of the largest fundraisers for the festival and our organization overall, which does have a mini fundraiser attached to it for the Eiffel Tower for those that might notice when they register. Yes. So if you participate, please register. It's launched at the heart of the festival, so it takes over Lower Jefferson Street. We kind of have like our official launch at Sport Club on their outdoor patio. And the whole festival grounds is really overtaken with storm runners that evening. It's really exciting. I mean, so many people come down even just to watch, the people involved, because you have people that dress up for it. I mean, everyone really gets into it in their own way. And then it shoots down Jefferson Street onto Wisconsin Avenue up through Juneau, and then all the way down Broadway to the 3rd Ward. So basically you turn around at Catalano Square. So if you need another spot to watch it and you're in the 3rd Ward, hit that spot up, and then makes its way like right back to the heart of the festival. So whether you're up there for launch or you're down there for up there for the finish line, or just hanging out at the Tiki Bar, who really gets into it too, that I always hear they kind of hand out beers to the runners during the race.
Oh, it's
well, maybe we need to run now.
Listen, I mean, I don't run it, but I love watching it. Like we've watched it in the past, and it's crazy. It's crazy. It's enjoyable to see just the run itself.
Yeah.
So if you're able to, I highly suggest going and either participating or at the very least making sure to watch everyone else do that in the Bastille 5K. If you're wondering, okay, I've heard enough about this. This sounds awesome. Now how can I be a part of it? We will tell you how when we come back on Joshing Around Milwaukee. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to Joshing Around Milwaukee. We're having a great time with our guest, Eddie, over here, who's the executive director of Milwaukee's Easttown Association. We just got done hearing all about the Storm the Bastille and Bastille Days, but we didn't tell anyone how to participate, how they could be a part of it. So, Eddie, if people want to participate, where should they go? What should they do? What do they need to know?
Yeah, so main source is our website, easttown.com. Otherwise, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. That's where we're constantly posting updates around kind of like the smaller programming within our programming. And that would be the best way to find the information.
Great. For the run portion of it, are you able to, sometimes you can't register day of. Can you register day of?
Yeah, so you'll be able to register right up until the day of the event. And so we'll actually have some on-site registration. A lot of people actually register at the event. Again, we highly encourage all participants to register for a variety of reasons, not just, just for supporting us in general. But if you Google just Storm the Bastille, it's really the first thing that kind of shows up.
Yeah. It's like, literally, it's like the 5K and then the actual history of the actual event, Storming the Bastille.
Yeah. And beyond, supporting it. So our registration now that's closer to the race is up. It's $40 a person, but with that, it's a timed race this year, which a lot of people have fun with.
Nice, yeah.
And then you also get a free Michelob Ultra or water with that as well. So
there you go.
Yeah. Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Is that waiting for you at the end?
Right at the end.
Yeah.
Yep. So after you're sprinting through, we got a refresher for you.
Love it.
And now you also mentioned that you guys had some other events that you're doing as well, as much as we all love Bastille Days. Why don't you tell us a little bit about those as well?
Yeah, so another event that's been around for a few decades, Jazz in the Park. And so Jazz in the Park, which is a beloved event downtown, we also made some bigger changes to it this year to mix it up a bit for a variety of reasons. And one of those is an every other week format, kind of makes each week feel a little bit more special. Instead of cramming it into June through August, because I think we all kind of feel that summer fatigue a little bit by the time the summer ends. We're actually trying to extend our warm season a little bit by having 2 events in September. And then the themes itself. And so while it's still called Jazz in the Park, we're really embracing a unique theme, each night. And so I'm really looking forward to, like, one example, we're partnering with Milwaukee Pride to have a Pride in the Park evening. Really excited about that. Halfway to Mardi Gras, so if you can't make it to Bastille Days, September 11th, come down for that, the Hot and Dirty Brass Band. And then an event that's really near and dear to me and is our smallest one is the Cathedral Square Market. So it's another event that we brought back. We transitioned it to Sundays to try to create kind of a relax and recharge and refresh kind of vibe for downtown. We always have over 30 vendors, and we have free yoga at 9 o'clock in the morning, and that's every Sunday through mid-October.
Yeah, I love that. I love the activating the square, activating in Easttown is so great because so many people call it home too. So it's not just businesses and restaurants. Like there's a lot of residential in that area too, and I'm sure you see a ton of the residents throughout the whole area come for Jazz in the Park and some of the other fun activities, like a community staple almost, right?
Yeah, I mean, a saying that we have in-house is really it's about community, and so that's kind of our main focus, whether it's our vendors or partners or sponsors or just the crazy amount of entertainers that we have participate in this. It really starts with community itself and the vibrancy. The vibrancy, which isn't just important for activating downtown Milwaukee and all of those, residents and those businesses. There is a bit of a resurgence occurring in Cathedral Square Park right now, starting with Electric Lime. Check them out if you haven't yet. They got a new steakhouse opening up soon too in the old Luisa's spot. But vibrancy for the city overall. I don't know about you guys, but when I travel, I'm not always traveling to a city based on a singular event. It's just because I heard that is an awesome city to visit and to walk around, and I'm just stumbling around having like random, experiences. And so that more than anything is something that we're really trying to support, which is, tourism for this city and trying to just create a really warm and energetic and comfortable feel for downtown Milwaukee.
And then if anybody's looking to help support all the work that the Easttown Association does, you have a new initiative, Elevate Easttown, a new campaign, right?
Yeah. So, one, reach out to your local leaders in your community and downtown to just say that, hey, these are events that we think are important. So please do what you can to support it, because our costs are going up across the board, including with permits. And so we really need support where we can get it. Become a member. We're a member-based organization, as well as donation-based, yet only less than 2% of our revenues come from our members and donations. So the rest is through our events themselves, such as like sponsorship and beverage sales, that kind of thing. And so you can become a member as an individual or in a business, which goes a long way. And we do have like perks that we have throughout the year for that as well. Always looking for sponsors, even if it's to get people lined up for next season. And then, become a donor. And so we have a Music in the Park fund. We have a goal of trying to raise $100,000 this year, which a lot of that goes not only to the operations, to continue these great events, but right in the hands of hopefully more and more for our artists and entertainers, and to make it easier and cheaper for our vendors themselves. So those are the best ways. And then again, Storm the Bastille coming up soon. Be sure to register for that while you still can.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Eddie, for joining us. This has been great. A lot of stuff coming up you're going to want to make sure to check out. But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you for listening to this episode of Joshing Around Milwaukee. For more information, of course, go to visitmilwaukee.org. We'll see you next time. All right, everyone. Thanks for sticking with us here on Joshing Around Milwaukee. If you're seeing this segment, it's because you're watching on our podcasts or on our social media channels, and we really do appreciate that. We are having a great time with Eddie Sturkey here from the Easttown Association. Eddie, this is when all the pressure's on you now. We've talked about the events. We've talked about Bastille Days. But now is when Josh asks you the big question. Josh, take it away.
Yeah, this big question, it's a tough one. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
All right. So we like to say that there's a fresh city vibes right now in Milwaukee. So many cool things happening, lots of momentum, new businesses opening up all the time. What is giving you fresh city vibes?
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, the last few years, my summer really starts in the day after Bastille Days, basically, or a few days after I recover a little bit. And anything that keeps me outdoors. I mean, like a lot of people in this city, when the city comes alive, I want to take full advantage of it while we can. And I'm also a sucker for live music. And so I'm always hitting up West Town's night market. Tuesday nights, I'm either at the public market for their outdoor music series, or down in Bayview and for Chill in the Hill. And eating out right now, again, Electric Lime, located right across the street from Cathedral Square Park in the Cathedral Square neighborhood. They have a really great patio, awesome vibe there, even better food, and that's usually where you'll find me here.
Yeah, I love it. I also love that name, Electric Lime.
Yeah, it's almost as good as Josh Albrecht.
Yeah. No. Maybe we'll see what we can do. Awesome. Very, very good. Well, thank you so much again, Eddie, for joining us. And we hope that everything goes great with Bastille Days and the rest of the events throughout the summer that the Easttown Association is putting on.
Appreciate it. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Joshing Around. We've been doing this for 3 seasons, so there might be another one if this is your first time landing us that you might enjoy. You can find all of those at visitmilwaukee.org. Thanks so much.